Hi, and welcome to the Loud Reset podcast. My name is Adrienne, and I am your host, of course. Thank you so much for tuning in again for yet another episode. The more and more I do this, the more I just absolutely love it. I love bringing people on here that, one, I care about, and two, I just find their lives to be fascinating and want other people to know about them because I think they're really cool. This is episode 10, and I'm really excited. This is one of my girlfriends, Sam Brenes.
Hello.
And we met, oh gosh, what year was it? 21.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we met at 2021. We were both working together at the place I'm currently at. Sam does work somewhere else, but I feel like we had kind of an instant personality connection and really enjoyed each other's company. And Sam is so insanely smart, and some of the things she does in life is just like awe-inspiring to me, to kind of see that journey and just kind of learn a little bit about her. So today we're going to get to know Sam a little bit.
All right.
She's got some cool stories of things she's done in her life, and I just want to share that with the world. So thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yes, very excited. So why don't you just tell us where you grew up? Let's start there.
Okay. Yep. I'm born and raised in Mansfield, Ohio. Lived in the same house until I moved out.
Okay. Nice.
Pretty straightforward.
Nice. 80s baby, 90s baby, where do you fall in
Turn
that?
of the century. I was born I have a month of 90s experience, so I was November of 99.
Okay, that's really cool.
Still 90s girl, right?
Yes, absolutely. So how does that make you now today?
I'm 25.
25, for those of you that don't math, because that's
yeah.
Yeah.
Should have started with that. But.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so elementary school. What kind of kid were you in elementary school?
Growing up, I was a tomboy. All of my neighbor friends were boys, and so I just had to kind of like what they liked, and so I watched a lot of wrestling and played in the creek a lot.
Yeah.
And then at school, I was always teacher's pet and never gotten to.
Girl, you and I are the same person. I'm finding out. Like, that is my childhood. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so family dynamics, siblings. What does that look like for you?
Yep, I have a younger sister who is freshly 21, and then I have an older brother who is 32.
Okay.
Sorry, Derek. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. And then mom and dad are still together, and yep, all grew up together.
Love that. Did you get along with your siblings?
I'm the middle kid, so if you have older brothers, that could be kind of a torment sometimes.
Yes.
And then I'm sure I was a torment to my younger sister as well, but as adults, we all get along really well.
Yeah, that's good. And it's so hard when you're a kid and you look back, you're like, oh my God, because I feel that. Youngest of 5 and with an older brother, and that's a special kind of torture.
I can't imagine having 4 siblings.
Girl, it's rough. It is rough some days.
Makes for a good podcast, though.
Yes. My one sister's like, wait a minute, I don't remember this. And I'm like, look, we're all living our own versions of reality. Yep. So it don't matter. It happened in my brain. So, well, very cool. So you were tomboy, outdoor kid. Did you like school?
Oh, yeah, I love school.
Okay.
I'm a little bit younger than everybody in my class because I skipped a grade, but...
Me too, Sam, me too.
Did you skip 3rd?
Yes, girl! I was in it for like 2 or 3 weeks, and they were like, 4th grade.
Yep, and the school met with my parents, and they're like, yeah, she's got a...
Yes!
Yeah.
My mind is blowing right now.
Yeah.
I had no idea. That's awesome. Okay. So really like school. I'm the same way. Did you start to excel in one subject or another, kind of gravitate toward a certain skill in school?
In elementary school, I was a big reader. I'm still a big reader, but I would go through those little chapter books like crazy. And then I remember in 2nd grade, I was in the 3rd grade math class, which is kind of how they identified, like, oh, she just needs to go up in all the up a level in all subjects, basically.
Nice. I love that. Smart girls run the world.
Yep.
Okay. So any childhood friends that you still communicate with that you kind of grew up with when you were little?
Not that I see, physically super regularly, but people that I keep up with on Instagram or whatever. I'm still friends with like some of the girls that I rode the bus with, and one of them is a current coworker of mine, actually. So it's nice to maintain those relationships into adulthood.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, generally from school, I probably only have like 4 to 5 people that I see regularly.
Yeah.
But I don't mind a small circle too.
Yeah. Same. Now, was this true for you? Because it was for me when I made that transition from 3rd to 4th. My 3rd grade friends hated me. They all would not talk to me anymore, and it was like starting over as 4th grade friends because they were just like, did that happen to you?
No, I feel like being younger, I feel like it's easier to start over in a sense at that age rather than, if I skipped freshman year or something, because then you already got your cliques and everything. But I was like 8, so they were like, come on in, let's play Foursquare together.
See, I love that. That's how it should be, but not for me. It wasn't. So I kind of had to start over.
Yeah.
It was okay.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Sometimes kids can be really mean.
Yeah.
Awesome. What favorite subject did you have in school?
I'm always like the right brain type, creative language and arts and stuff. So, in middle school, I really liked art class, and then I always liked language arts. And then obviously, once I was introduced to foreign language, it was over for me. So
Okay.
I was good at math and science, but it wasn't my cup of tea, really.
Okay. So let's talk about that. You start foreign language. Do we start at 9th grade, 8th grade? I don't remember. 8th grade. Yeah. Okay. So tell me about that, because that kind of spurred you in kind of your life trajectory. So let's talk about that.
So at my junior high and high school, they only offered French and Spanish, and I was like, well, I'm never really going to use French, probably, unless I go to Quebec or something.
Yeah.
But and I already knew a little bit of Spanish, so I was like, yeah, let's just do that. And I took 5 years of it, and yeah, it all started there. And then I majored in Spanish in college. I've traveled a bunch. That's where I met my husband now.
Yes.
So.
I know we're gonna get there. I can't wait. Awesome. So probably did pretty well in high school. Good grades. Yeah. Okay. Did you go right into college, and did you work when you graduated?
Yeah, I actually started working my junior year. It was right around the 2016 election, because I was like freshly 17. And I started working at a Mexican restaurant, so I got to practice my Spanish even more there.
Okay, that's great. That's a good idea.
And and then I went straight into my freshman year in 2017. I started as a political science major.
Okay. Where at?
Girl, I don't know. In Ashland.
Okay.
Because I wanted to be like city council, like commissioner type.
You're so good at that, though. Yeah, you'd kill that. But yeah.
But then I was quickly like, yeah, this is horrible. I'm not doing this. So that's when I switched to international business, because I figured I could still have that BSBA, like basic business background, while still hopefully getting to travel. I didn't know that COVID was coming, and that wasn't really going to be a thing. Yeah. But yeah, international business, and then I added a Spanish major.
Okay. I love that. Now, we met with you working at a marketing firm. So obviously that's not related to what you do. So let's talk about what you do currently.
Currently, I work at a university in the testing center is what I manage, and then I also do online program support. So that could be like writing program development studies to see if, they want to launch a new major or something, or if somebody comes in and they're like, oh, I've got 15 years of experience in the military. Is there anything in my background that I could get academic credit for? I help analyze that too.
Okay.
Kind of an oddball mix of things that I do, but I like it.
Yeah, it sounds like you can kind of help people find the route they need to go.
Yeah, I'm like a kiosk, basically.
I love that. Little encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Okay, so working for Ashland University.
Yep.
That's awesome. And that's
Go
where
Eagles.
that's where you went. That's kind of cool. That's like a full circle moment.
Yeah, both degrees from AU.
Okay. Did you have to pay for them? Because because I know if you work there, you get. I'm like, man, if they could refund you, how's that work?
Insider secret. Yeah. So my mom also works at the university, so I was her like dependent. Like, so I got my tuition undergrad totally paid for. We just paid for like books and fees and stuff.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And then I left the marketing job because I thought that I wanted to do an MBA. And then I got through like organizational theory and a graduate level accounting class, and I was like, oh, this is awful. I do not want to do this for the next year or two of my life. So I switched to my Master of Education. And then, I finished that in 24. And I've just kind of continued working there. But yes, as an employee, for the graduate level, they'll pay for 80% of it, at least at AU.
So cool. Yeah. I love that. That's a great university, and they are expensive. So that is
Lord, don't I know it.
That is a huge perk. I briefly looked at them when I was in high school. I was really big into journalism and language arts and ELA and writing and all of that. Editor of the school newspaper, editor of the high school yearbook. I love that. And I really wanted to do journalism for a real strong couple years. And then for some reason, it was just like, it was gone. But I looked at AU, and then I was like, this shit's expensive. And that was in 2002, it was pricey. So I can only imagine what it is now.
They've got some really cool, if you're into that communication journalism type stuff, they've got really cool like broadcasting, radio, digital media, all that stuff, which is in another life probably what I would have done.
Yeah.
I don't regret what I did, but you know, if I had to choose another one, it'd probably be like journalism type stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. We are so similar. It's so great. Okay, so let's backtrack a little bit, because when you were in college, you went abroad. Yeah. Okay, so just give me all the details, because I never really had to talk to someone that's done that in a college level. So tell me what that looks like.
So I'll actually start on the broader scale, just study away in general, because I wanted to mention that the fashion merchandising program, which I was not in, but I was in that college, they do frequent trips to New York City because they go to the Mood Fabrics place from Project
Yes.
Runway.
Oh, yes.
And like study all that. Excuse me. And I wasn't studying that, but they were like, hey, we've got, 5 extra seats or whatever. If you pay, I think it was like $300 or something like that. It was great. I mean, we did go on a bus.
Wait, you got to go to
10-hour
Mood?
bus ride. I didn't go there because like I wasn't a student, but
sure.
I just grabbed my friend and was like, do you want to go to New York next month? And she was like, yeah, sure. So we got to have a really fun weekend there, and like learning how to navigate the subway was crazy as an 18-year-old. So very
as
intense.
a 40-year-old,
yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah. And so it was just us living our best life. And that was just a short weekend trip, but that was kind of my first
taste of freedom
yes. glimpse into study abroad and everything. And then that same summer, 2018, I did a month-long summer program in Costa Rica for the first time.
Oh my gosh.
That was my first time leaving the country.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, so how does that process even begin? What program are you in to do that? Mm-hmm. What does that look like?
I basically, at my freshman orientation, I still had this political science.
This is freshman in college?
Yes, freshman in college. Sorry.
Perfect.
And quickly at orientation, I was like, maybe I'm not a poli-sci person. And then I saw the study abroad coordinator start giving her spiel about, we've got these honors programs going to Germany, and we've got such and such going to Italy, and then we're going to have AU in Costa Rica. And I was like, oh, Costa Rica, I speak Spanish, so that would be fun.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I was already starting to think about how could I use that to fulfill requirements for my degree. Mm-hmm. And I got like, I want to say 6 or 8 credits for a month-long course, which is the equivalent of like 2.5 classes.
Okay.
So that really helped. And I stayed with the host family.
Okay.
And it was all very well managed.
So going there is like a class. It gives you credit as like education.
Yes. Okay. It is. I do get credit for it, but it's not like a one set class. It's like a cohort of students basically that go, and they might be taking different classes while they're there.
Okay.
But basically they took a group of us, I don't know, probably 15 of us from AU, and matched us with host families in Santa Ana, Costa Rica. And we all studied at Conversa Linguistic Center, I think it was called. I don't think it's in operation anymore, unfortunately. Okay. But when we got there, they basically interviewed us in Spanish to kind of do our placement for what level we were in. Mm-hmm. So I was in the advanced class with my friend that I went to New York with, and then a couple others. And I still talk to some of my professors that I had there, and like I've met up with them, and it was very cool, very cool.
So you're an 18-year-old. Mm-hmm. Is this kind of like first time? I mean, other than like New York, that far away from family. Okay. Yeah. What was that like not having, so a month? Yeah, a month. What was that like emotionally, and the communication with back home? What did that look like?
It was tough. I mean, I expected it to be tough, but it was tough. I think our study abroad director, shout out Rebecca, is very good about explaining these are the kind of feelings that you're going to experience. This is kind of the curve of like the honeymoon phase, and then you can start to get homesick, and then you're like,
So you know what to expect.
Yes.
That helps,
But experiencing it is so different. I remember I got off the plane, they were waiting for us with like the signs at the airport. My host family came and got me and took me back to her house, and I just like locked myself in the room and cried.
You're like, what did I do? Yeah, that full regret right away. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah, I was like, all right, girl, you've got an hour to cry, and then you got to get back in there because they're grilling.
Yeah. Okay. So all of this, all the transportation, all arranged by the school.
Yeah, they had a school bus for us every day.
Okay.
We would walk to, it's a very walkable like little neighborhood that we all stayed in, so we were all like just blocks apart from each other.
Okay.
With host families. And
as far as your other peers?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a nice comforting thing. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
I'll call her my New York friend. She was just around the corner from me, so like I'd go over to her house and like vice versa. So it was nice to have people nearby, but not like in dorms, you know what I mean? So it was still like I got to talk to my host family. We'd eat dinner with them and everything. And my host mom learned how I like my coffee and would like start making me iced coffee in the mornings without me even asking.
So
she's so sweet. I love her.
I want to hear about that, the social construct of that, because like first off, the people that are willing to let people into their homes, I think, are just genuinely great people, because that's such a big intrusion if you think about it. So what was that like living in someone else's home? Did you constantly feel like, I'm in your home, or was it comfortable? Like, I would feel like an intruder, even though I'm like, they accept me, they want me, they signed up for this,
Yeah, and they're getting paid for it and everything.
Oh, okay, that's good. I didn't know that.
my host mom had a lot of experience in hosting other students, so she kind of knew, like, leave a blanket out for her, or just give her some space at the beginning, and this is how we make her feel welcome. But it is weird at the same time, because it's like, now I had a host sister as well, who was probably in her 20s, so it was like, oh, I have a big sister for a month, but also we have no relationship to each other, so I'm not like opening up to her, but we're like in close quarters all the time. So, and then the way it was set up, my host mom, her mother lived right next door, so I could just walk over to my host grandma's house. But at the time, I couldn't understand what she was saying because of her accent, like, at all. And so she would ask me questions, and I'm just sitting there like,
I was just going to ask, do they know any English? Or are you speaking in Spanish the whole time? And how was that?
It was pretty much Spanish the whole time.
Okay.
My host mom knew a couple words here and there in English because her son lived in Michigan at the time for work. And he had a family here and everything. And so she would talk to her grandkids, and there'd be a little bit of English there, but vast majority was in Spanish.
So I guess that would make sense that you have to be pretty advanced in your language to even qualify to do something like this, correct?
Well, I mean, and there's also host parents that, like, the second time I studied abroad, jumping ahead a little bit, my host sister, like, worked for Amazon in their customer service in Costa Rica, but she would be speaking to American clients, so her English was like,
oh yeah,
it was awesome.
Okay.
So I imagine, like, she would have been paired with someone that maybe didn't have total mastery of Spanish yet. Not that I did at the time at all.
Sure.
But they kind of try to match up to make sure that there's minimized communication problems.
Yeah. Okay, very cool. So what did you do for fun? Did you have, like, could you go out and like did you have to hang out with the family? Could you have your own life? Like, what was the expectation of that?
Yeah, again, it's weird because it's like, oh, I have to, like, ask my mom if I can go out, but I'm also 18 and, like, I paid to be here, and like, these are the excursions that I paid for. So during the weeks, honestly, it was very tiring to go to school all day and then come back. So usually the weekends were where we really took our excursion time. So we'd go, like, one weekend we planned to go to the cloud forest, and then the next was the beach. And then I think the last one I was sick for, but they had, like, a city excursion. So the weekends are where you spend a lot of money and go to different places. But during the week, it's mostly just like, oh, hey, friend, do you want to walk over to the store and, like, I don't know, look at labels in Spanish and see how the products are different? Like, we didn't really have a lot of time during the week to explore a ton. But there was still, again, very walkable city that we were in. And they've remodeled a lot of things in that city and added, like, a public park and everything now. So it's very cool. But at the time, it was just kind of like, well, let's just walk around town.
And I think what would add to you being so tired is you're in a foreign country. Everything is new. There's so much new sensory, and you have to, like, think in another language all day.
Your brain is on all day.
So you're, like, mentally exhausted. And Costa Rica's hot, right?
So when we went the first time, I think they're still in the rainy season. So it was hot, but it would cool down because it rains every day in the wet season. They don't have 4 seasons like we do. They just have wet and dry. So I remember, like, we had to pack our waterproof rain jackets because once you got to the kind of meeting point from school, you'd walk home and it's just, like, pouring down rain. And you're like, my brain's fried. I just want to...
And now you're like a drowned rat and you're all soaked. Oh my gosh. What was the food like? Just because you're eating authentic food at that point. Tell me about that.
Yeah. At that time too, so I'm vegetarian, but I kind of, like, cheated, like, during that month because I just feel awkward being like, oh, I'm your daughter, please make me something special for just me to eat. So, but Costa Rican food is a lot of rice and beans.
Okay.
Pretty much every day, if not every meal, you're going to have some kind of rice and beans. Salad, fruit, caramelized plantains.
I love those.
As usual. Oh, so good, yeah. And then my host mom the first time would make, like, a lot of chicken and rice and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And different stews.
So you're not eating, like, goat and rabbit and lamb
and,
like, all these
like
things
that.
where you have to show. I mean, I would struggle with that as a meat eater. That exotic meat, sometimes you're like, what in the hell? Yeah, a little too meaty.
When I worked at the restaurant in high school, they'd be like, here, do you want some tacos? And I'm like, what is it? They're like, just eat it. I'm not going to tell you. I'm like, I'm not eating that. And they're like, it was tongue. But I'm like, I'm not eating tongue tacos. I'm so sorry, but...
That's got to be tough. That cannot be tender. There's no way.
They'll fight over, like, the eyeballs of the fish and stuff when they cook. They'll make head tacos and different... Because you want to, like, take advantage of every part of the animal, I guess, but...
And I try to keep that in the back of my head, but I'm like, I couldn't get over the mental part of it.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say I would try everything once, but there's some things I'm like, I know I could not get that down.
I'll try any vegetarian thing once.
Yeah, see, that's fair.
Yeah.
Because I've done a oyster thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the worst experiences. I got it down, but it was awful. And I'm like,
yeah.
Can't do those. Can't do those.
To be fair, we do have a lot of nasty stuff that we try in America. It's not just like you know, Latin food, but
no, we do. So did you enjoy the food, or were you just kind of like over it at
No,
the end?
I could still eat that. In Costa Rica, like one of the main dishes is a casado.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a platter with like your rice, beans, salsa. Sometimes there's like beets or fried cheese, plantains, whatever. It's very like formulaic food, so people get tired of it very quickly. But I could still eat that. Like I could eat that right now if you brought it in front of me. It's
I
so
love
good.
beets. I will eat beets like straight out of a can. They're probably so good from Costa Rica. They're probably just so fresh.
I'm not like a super fan. I will try them, especially if it's like in a salad or something. Yeah. But
people I think love or hate beets. I like the weird grittiness of it. Like it's almost like the dirt. I like
return to the earth.
Yes, exactly. So how many times have you studied abroad?
Abroad twice.
Okay.
But we've traveled outside of that a bunch, and I've been to Costa Rica like so many times since then.
Okay.
So the first time was my month-long summer program at a linguistic center, and then I had a semester long the following year.
So how long is a semester?
So we got there late August, and then we left early December.
Okay. So some time, and that's Costa Rica.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Same place each time you went?
Different city.
Totally different. Okay.
Yeah.
How far away from your current one? Or from the first one you went to?
So Santana's probably, I don't know, 45 minutes from the next one.
Gotcha.
So it's nothing crazy, but my little, boyfriend at the time probably helped decide my location for...
Yes.
I was like, no, I just want to go, girl, get real.
Yes. Okay, so let's get to that. So you go, the semester is next. So you went where and what did you do there?
So the second time for my semester was in Heredia, Costa Rica, and I would basically, so they have their National University of Costa Rica, and they like rent out classroom space for study abroad programs. So it's like you're studying on campus, but you're not an actual student of the National University. Okay. So
and this is still through AU.
Well, I looked for this on my own, and then my New York friend came on this with me because she wanted to come back as well. Okay. But I wanted a program where I could basically just get 12, 15 credits and do an internship because I was international business. Okay. So I wanted to do an internship.
So working in another country, getting that experience. Yep. Okay, exactly. I'm following. Gotcha.
So I studied a lot of linguistics, but also like literature, culture, field experiences, like going into places and looking at ruins of churches and stuff from colonial period. It was really cool.
You probably have amazing photos.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I do. I've got like thousands of photos.
Well, I'll be on your Facebook later. Look at there wherever they all are.
Yeah. So there was definitely a bigger variety of subjects that I studied the second time. And then I also did my internship in translation work.
English to Spanish or?
I think, I can't really remember. I know that part of it was like translating their website because they were building a new website and they wanted to, maybe it was Spanish to English. I can't remember. Probably both. And then research projects as well. That one was for the Political Science College of the National University. Okay. So I did work like for them. Okay. Gotcha. Did I get paid? No. But whatever. Yeah.
And that's a huge commitment to do all that in your life with no income. Yeah.
Yeah, that was, before I bought my house, that study abroad trip was the most expensive thing I'd ever bought. Yeah. It was like probably $6 or $7 grand for that semester.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And that's an all-in type thing. Well, this was also, how long ago was that?
2019.
Yeah, so been a while. Yeah. Okay. Now, is this where you meet?
No, we met the first time.
Okay.
Actually.
Yes.
And so I was only there for a month the first time, but we were like FaceTiming before we even met and everything. And then we had our first date, and only date really, in the city center of the capital city, San Jose. And then I left the next day.
So how did you meet him?
Tinder.
Okay, so while you were there, you're like, swipe left, swipe right. Okay.
Yeah. Well, okay, really, I wasn't like intending to go into it for that, but my friends and I were like looking for local tour guides to take us places because I didn't want to like ask our host parents.
So this ain't a booty call.
No, it was not. Supposed to be.
No, Sam's not that type.
Some girls on the trip did.
Oh, I bet they did.
More power to you, but I was
live
like,
your best life, girl.
Yeah. But I wanted to like go into the city with my friends and stuff, and they're like, well, I don't want to like bring my my host grandma with me or something. So we were all kind of like looking for different things.
Yeah.
So that's what it started as. And honestly, just hearing someone outside of my host family speak Spanish all the time, like when you can have studied it for 7 years for me at that point, but when you get immersed in it like that and you're hearing it in the native speaker's accent or regional dialect or whatever, you're like, I might as well have never have taken Spanish before, because it was so like when I first started talking to my husband, he's very soft spoken, so and
you're like, I need you to enunciate.
Yeah, I'm like, first of all, I can't hear what you're saying. Second, can you, I don't know, like there was a lot of, can you repeat that, like what does that mean, can you say
did
that
he
in
know
a different
English
way?
when you guys met? Oh my gosh. No. Okay, continue.
So yeah, we had our first date after we had been video calling for a while, and we went to a bar, we went to a restaurant.
This was the second time you came back?
First time still.
First time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then basically after that first date, we were like, yeah, let's keep talking. I mean, we'll see how this goes. If nothing else, I have a cool language partner out of it. Like, you know. Yeah. But then, I came back for the semester. Definitely not influenced by a boy, but I was still living with a different host family. Okay. So I didn't get to see him all the time, and it wasn't like, you know, I wasn't there because I wanted to live with him or something like that. Like I would see him in my free time, or he'd come over, and I remember they had I turned 20 that year, and he worked with my New York friend and my host family to throw me a surprise party. So I got home from a school trip, and they were all there with pizza, and I'm like, what are you doing here? My host family.
That's so sweet. That is thoughtful. Okay, so keep going, because you obviously come back to the U.S. Let's talk about that. How'd you guys continue on with that?
It was rough, especially because like I finished my semester in December, and like we had taken a couple of trips outside of Costa Rica by then together, and then I came back in March 2020 to Costa Rica, and they were like, oh, you have to leave because they're gonna close the border.
Yeah. So you were in another country.
I was in Costa Rica when they started talking about shutdowns. My parents were like, should we like tell her that she has to come back? Should we, because I was living at my parents' house still, and they're like, should we like go get her? Should we, I don't.
Were you just like freaking out, or were you just like,
I was still kind of like,
and it was also new, like we didn't know what the hell was going on.
I was like, really shutting down a country for this? That's a little crazy, like at the time. And then I came back, and we didn't see each other until, I should have looked it up. It wasn't until 2021. So basically we just WhatsApp texted and video called and Skype and whatever for, I think it was like 14 months. Yeah, it would have been like June of 21 that I went back.
Yeah.
That was tough.
I feel like you had started with working with me when because you were taking a trip, not that first year you were there, right? So I started at the marketing in January of 21. Yeah, so it would have been like that first 6 months of me working there. I was like, well, see you guys. I feel like I remember that. Yeah. Okay, so you're not married at this point.
No.
Okay, so continue on. How did the relationship progress?
So he actually met my family because they came to visit me in Costa Rica during my semester there. So like our families hadn't met, but like my parents had met him and everything, and they kind of knew that it was like, well, yeah, sure, this is Sam's like Costa Rican boyfriend that she's but I'm glad they did, because my brother came down as well. He wasn't able to come to our wedding because of the baby in the family. So it was nice that they got to meet like well before that and everything. And then I guess just if I wasn't saving my vacation days at the marketing place to fly down there, then we were traveling other places together. Yeah, you guys have gone to some cool spots. So tell me about all the places you guys have gone together. Because he's leaving out of Costa Rica, you're leaving out of here, and meeting up. And like, it's hard to coordinate. Oh my gosh, yeah. And you were telling me before, you're like, oh, that's so like brave of you to do that. I'm like, if my 19-year-old daughter in the future were doing these things, I'd be like, girl, you are out. You have lost your marbles.
She's going to be 17, and I'm like, never. No, you're not doing anything without mommy. But I'm like...
I have explained my story to a current coworker, and she was like, oh, so you just went into the city alone with this man that you met 3 weeks ago? And I was like, yep. Basically.
Exactly. The mother in me is like, what is happening?
When I have to say it out loud, I'm like, oh my God.
But it's all worked out so amazingly.
Luckily it has, And we have a lot of great memories. So 2019, that November, they gave us a Thanksgiving break from school, even though it was in Costa Rica. They don't celebrate, but they were like, oh yeah, Americans, if you wanted to like fly home for a
Oh.
long weekend, you could.
That's nice.
But we went to Panama for the first time, so that was our first international trip together. I mean, it's basically like going from Ohio to Indiana, like they're neighbors, but still.
Yeah.
So after Panama, we went to Cancun together. After that, let's see what was next. Guatemala, and then in 2022 we went to Europe. So we went to Spain and France because my New York friend was doing a master's program in Spain. So it was nice to like have a contact there, and we like got to go visit her, and she gave us a tour of her little city. Yeah, it was really nice. Spain, France, Colombia, and the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
And then he has since come to America. So.
Yeah. Okay. So when did you guys get engaged? When did that step progress into what it is now?
He had my engagement ring for like years before I would let him propose to me. He wanted to get engaged under the Eiffel Tower, so 2022. I was 22.
Gosh. Yeah.
But I knew I probably wanted to accomplish some personal things before I settled down and committed to that. And then it turned into, well, I wanted to do my MBA, and then we're switching it to MED, whatever, the graduate program. I wanted to finish that like single, on my own before I got engaged. So like the day after I graduated my master's program, or a very short time after, we did a trip to Red River Gorge in Kentucky, and he proposed there. So that was May of 2024 last year.
It's like about time.
Yeah. He's like, finally.
Yes. Okay. So that's obviously very exciting. What was it like telling the families? And because at this point he still lives in Costa Rica.
Yes.
You still live in the United States.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that it wasn't a surprise because we'd been together since 2018, so we're together for 6 years, and they're kind of like, well, let's go. Like, when's something gonna happen with this? So yeah. But it was just, I wanted to wait personally.
Yeah.
But then we had a quick turnaround time for our wedding because we got engaged in May of last year and then married in December of last year. So we planned everything in about 6 months.
Yeah, that's a very short window. Where did you have the wedding?
In Costa Rica.
Okay, so family comes down, all that.
So again, my brother couldn't make it because they have a now 1-year-old baby. I love him. And so it was just my parents and my sister that were able to come down, and then we just had a very small, I think we had 22 people total, including the photographer and us.
I love that.
Like, it was tiny. It was all of our mutual friends in Costa Rica, because his friends became my friends, and I'd be like, oh, can we go see so and so? So they were in our wedding, and like it rained on our wedding day, so like his friends came over with the umbrellas and basically accompanied me and my mom and sister over to the ceremony area. So
I love that.
just the people there that obviously I would have liked to have, like my grandparents and family, but it just wasn't feasible. But I was very happy with like having the people that really cared about us.
Yeah, absolutely. Rich and I always say, would we ever do it again? It'd be us somewhere. I mean, of course, immediate family. We had a big to do, and I'm just like, never again would we do something like that.
It was a lot. And I get people asking me like, oh, are you gonna have a second wedding in the States? And we're like, no, that's very expensive, very stressful. I'm not trying to do that again.
So how does that work when you're married in a foreign country?
So I had to it was less than a year ago, and I can't remember. I know I had to bring my passport and like declare myself on their civil registry as like, so I made it official with the government there. But they don't really have like marriage license, marriage certificate. It's just register yourself. Congrats. Gotcha. So my sister was my maid of honor and witness. So you need 2 witnesses in Costa Rica at least. And then, so yeah, our sisters were our witnesses. And then basically, so we had been married in December. I came back, and then tax season rolled around, and I was like, I don't know if I should. Am I married but filing separately? Or are we like, how is this working?
Because like W-2s aren't the same for all the things.
Right, and I didn't have to go through the court in Ohio to get married or like change my last name or anything. I just brought the certified translated copy of our marriage document. Basically. Said, hey, do you believe me? And they were like, yep, okay, we'll change your name.
I love that.
It was tricky at one point because so Latin families will have often 2 last names. Okay. And my husband's last names are both Brenes. Okay. Which is weird because it would mean like his dad's first last name and his mom's first last name were Brenes.
Okay.
So people ask him if his parents are related, and he's like, "No, my parents are not related."
It's a probably common name.
Yeah. It's like Brenes is a very Costa Rican last name. I think Costa Rica has the highest population, like, density of Breneses in the world. Now there's one in Ohio.
Yay.
And so, what was I going to say? Oh, the lady at the BMV, when I went to change my name, she was like, "This says Brenes on it." I'm like, "Yeah, but I only want one. I'm not going to have, I'm not going to be saying Brenes. And she's like, "I don't know."
Yeah.
And they, like, basically brought out a magnifying glass and were like, "Is this legit? Like, my social security card already says the new, can you just work with me here?"
Yeah, just help me out. Honestly, I'm surprised they did, because sometimes they're not the most helpful.
Oh my gosh, the BMV, I'm like, if you hate your job so much, just quit.
I know.
Simply quit.
The Mansfield location is the worst. Also, like, I'll go to Shelby, I'll go to Ashland.
There before.
I believe it. I believe it. So, you're a young woman traveling all over the world. What is that like, anxiety-wise? Because, girl, we anxious.
Yeah, we are.
How do you deal with that?
If I were traveling alone, I think it'd be a lot worse, but I always say, like, my husband can camouflage when we go places. When we were in Colombia, people will just come up to us and start speaking in Spanish because he looks like he fits in there.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have him kind of lead the way on some things.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, when we're traveling in France or throughout the States or wherever, like, I'll probably take the lead on those things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely teamwork when we travel, but there's been times where, like, we have a trip planned to Mexico City for Thanksgiving this year. My parents were like, "Can you go anywhere else besides there, maybe?"
Yeah, I hear Mexico's like, a little wound up right now.
I was like, we went to Medellin together, so we could pretty much figure anything out. I don't prefer to, like, book everything ourselves. I'd rather work with a travel agent, but it just works out sometimes that you've got to, Airbnb and all that stuff.
Yeah.
On your own account.
So, do you do anything out of the ordinary to keep yourself sane when you're away from home and in foreign countries, and, like, it's that awareness and everything's just so different. Mm-hmm. So how do you, like, get yourself prepared for that and go about the days?
We plan everything, like, down to the T, basically. We will, if we have an excursion, we'll book a private group well in advance and basically have our whole day mapped out, know where we have to go. Our next hotel is here. We're going to get there by Uber. Let's make sure our app's downloaded and the payment methods are downloaded and everything. So it's very... preparing ourselves ahead of time really helps. And then I don't know how helpful this is, but I do send my location and, like, my itinerary to my parents back home, obviously. Not that they could at the drop of a hat fly to Medellin, but
no, but it's good. Like, if something were to happen, okay, she's expected to be here. I'm the same way, and I'm like, and we're the family group, like, even all as adults on the plane, boarding now, landed, like,
I'll Snapchat my parents at 4 a.m. Just got through security. They're like, "Yeah, we know. You just got there like 20 minutes ago. So it's 4 a.m. Can you leave us?" No, they don't say that. But
what's the time difference to Costa Rica?
So it depends on if we're in daylight savings or not. Right now it's 2
Which that makes my brain hurt. I hate that.
Yeah.
We flew home from Florida just not too long ago. And our layover was in Tennessee, which apparently is a different time zone.
They've got multiple time zones in there.
I was panicking because I'm like, we're missing our connecting. I'm like, how did I even book this? Why did it let me? And then we landed. And I'm like, we have an hour. And I'm like, because you get lost in space with the time.
That's
and I'm
happened so much. It's so annoying.
Yes. Like, can we just turn it off? I don't understand.
I feel like every year there's conversation about, we're just not going to continue with daylight savings because it's so outdated. And I think that would just make things so much easier if we could just pick a time and stick to it.
I feel like the summertime one would be better, right? I don't know.
I'll take either of them, honestly.
Literally, just stick with whatever it is.
But the time difference is not bad, luckily. If he were, like, my Japanese boyfriend or something, I probably would have said bye-bye a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, well, see, that's where Layla wants to live when she's an adult.
She wants to live in Japan?
She does. And I love that for her as, like, a woman and, like, yes, live your best life. But as her mom, absolutely not. Japan, I've actually done insane amounts of research since she started talking about it. It'd be amazing. And she would probably thrive. And it's very safe and clean and all the things. But it is literally on the other side of the world.
You could not get farther away if you tried.
Exactly, literally. And I'm maybe like the Point Nemo or whatever the hell the thing is. But I tell Rich, I'm like, guess where we're going, because, like, I'm not gonna be having my baby on the other side of the world.
Yeah. Would you move there?
If it came down to it, yeah. Like, because Layla, you know what I mean? We have planned, we're starting to put, pennies aside, because when she graduates, we want to go out there, take like a 2-week family vacation. Yeah. And that's overwhelming all in itself because it's so massive and you never know what to do. But that's something to look forward to and exciting. But that'll be obviously the biggest international travel we've done. Yeah. The farthest we've gone is Mexico, Canada, Alaska, which obviously is US, but far from here. She's only been to Mexico, and I'm just like, that's really far.
I know, it's but really the crazy teenager in me that did those things, it's like, yes, Layla,
I know.
That's so cool.
And that's how I feel too. I'm like, literally the kid in me and everything, even her mom, the mom in me is like, yes. Yeah. But it's just makes me sick to my stomach to think about it. Is she
learning the language?
She is. She's teaching herself as far as she can. Mm-hmm. She's getting very close to needing additional help, whether it be apps or she'd obviously like to learn from someone, but I'm like, that's expensive. So maybe Duolingo, just to get that conversation. But she likes the structure of, she wants to learn it the right way. And I'm like, I get that, but you need to learn enough to just communicate with people over there.
That's another big thing that I would always do. My husband's not a big language person, but like before we went to France, I did like 30 days on Duolingo in French beforehand, just so that I could be like, where's my passport, where's the airport type thing.
Basics. Like, yeah, exactly. And my sister, she's actually learning on Duolingo too, Spanish. And I'm like, man, because I was almost fluent in French when I did it in school, and I'm like, man, I really just let that go, and I probably couldn't tell you.
Use it or lose it.
Yes, it really does. It completely leaves your brain. But I'm like, I'd really like to do that. I don't know what language I would like to learn. Probably Spanish, just because it's the most prevalent, and I think probably easier than some of the very like Japanese. The stuff she shows me, I'm like, what is happening here?
It's one thing if you have our alphabet or similar, and you can kind of guess like, okay, that looks like the word computer or something. But like the kanji character, I can't.
No, and there's different versions of this, and I'm just like,
or this is the simplified and this is the traditional. And it's like,
she tells me stuff and I'm like, Layla, you're making my brain hurt. Like it makes my brain like malfunction. It's too complex, especially at this stage in my life. Like, she's a little sponge right now. And she can learn super easy, but there's too much. In all the years that you kind of did all these things, was there ever a time where you were like, no more, I can't do this international, I can't be away? Did you ever like full panic, almost get on a bus and go home and just throw your hands up?
Like when I was international? Not really, honestly. Like, apart from that when I first got off the plane the first time and I cried in my host room, apart from that, I'm like, no, this is pretty cool. And I mean, being in Costa Rica then is a good center if you wanted to travel around Latin America too. So even that second, I guess, 2019 semester is when we went to Panama and Mexico. So it was nice to just feel like, I don't know, I left Ohio because I didn't want to be in Ohio for the whole time. Not that I didn't call my family all the time and pester them with texts and pictures and stuff, but just a totally different environment, and it was really cool.
Yeah, which I'm sure they love that. And same like your parents, it's that beaming pride, but also the worry that they must have been through. Because I know I would be a basket case with my daughter in a foreign country. Like, are you close with your mom that you felt that and she had to be struggling at home? What was that like?
We FaceTimed a lot, especially during my semester there. And that's when we knew, like, it was just so long apart from each other that they came down a couple months in, so that really helped. And when you guys come down, I'm going to take you to this place and I want to show you. It
gave you that something to look forward to.
Yeah. And then, I mean, that was mid-November, so I only had a couple of weeks left in my program until I got home at that point. So I was like, okay, well, I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks at home.
That's easy.
It makes it manageable when you're able to see each other kind of in between.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Anything that you regret about the experience, or maybe if someone was asking about this, don't do this, or best advice or something you could help them if they were thinking to do this type of thing as a young adult?
Nothing I would have done differently or that I regret, because I don't know, even if like my internship, for example, I didn't end up being my favorite job I've ever had, just because I felt pretty lonely there, honestly. I was in a little office by myself. I I mean, I knew Spanish, but maybe not to the level that I kind of had imposter syndrome basically about
Sure.
I'm in a translation internship and I feel like my Spanish is still 6 out of 10 basically. So, but even then it's like, okay, I still made friends that I have on LinkedIn to this day, and like I follow them and get travel recommendations from some of them. And so even if the experience isn't what you expected, maybe the connections around it are something that you can take with you. So
I think that's such great perspective too, because it's really easy to remember bad when some debacle happens or something doesn't go right. It's really easy for that to stick out. So I think that's really smart. Is okay, maybe it wasn't the greatest, but what I took away with it was so much better. So much better.
I'd rather regret like having done something and maybe it didn't work out like I wanted to, rather than regret never having done it.
Oh yeah.
So
I fully believe that too, and I think we should try to live like that more. Do those things that are scary and that would challenge us. Did you have any kind of health scares or sickness anytime you were abroad?
Yeah, so it was at the end of my 2019, so end of the semester, I had a really bad ear infection, like horrible, and my boyfriend at the time was trying to treat it with like natural remedies and like putting tea bags on your ear and that kind of stuff, just like, at home managing what we could with ibuprofen and nature. But it was so I'm prone to ear infections, but that one I had a double ear infection, and then I was just thinking we're about to go 30,000 feet in the air, or my eardrum's gonna bust.
Yeah, no
like
kidding.
That is what I
like
thought.
actual damage to yeah.
I was like, if I can still hear when I get home, I'll be happy. It was awful.
Yeah.
If it had been earlier in the semester, I would have just gone to like the emergency room down there, but it was like the next day I was going home.
Yeah.
So I just prayed.
Yeah. You're like, I'm gonna get through this. Yeah. How was that flight though, coming home with
awful?
Oh, I can't imagine.
It hurt, but I was also so fearful the whole time. That's something, especially with like the takeoff and landing, how your ears kind of pop when you go up in the air.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, mine get painful when it's that pressure. It actually hurts. So I can't imagine having an ear infection and then that on. It had to feel like needles. Yeah. Just like awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
And then when I got home from that, I went to the urgent care with my parents, and like how they have the ear scope that they put in. She's like, I can't even get this into your ear.
Oh my gosh.
It was so awful, Adrian. Like, it's so bad. Yeah, luckily I haven't had anything like that since then, but like they had me a CT scan on my head. And,
oh my gosh, were they like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
So what do they do for that? Medication or like?
I think I took a bunch of steroids and.
Oh yeah, bring it down and.
Yeah. Gosh, that was awful.
Yeah, but no other like diarrhea for days and vomiting.
Yeah, but I mean that's just part of travel. Tell Layla that. Tell her to get really used to diarrhea if she wants to live abroad.
Listen, I am a more than regular girl. We'll just say that. Girl's got probably some IBS working in there. The child is the complete opposite. She's like maybe in every other day. She'll probably kill me if she ever hears me saying this. But yeah, so I would be like 24/7.
Yeah, that's another thing is my host parents always knew, like, they'd had students before and it was just kind of a common problem and they knew what to give you type thing, or like
we got you.
Go to the pharmacy and ask for this.
Yeah.
And so they have like pre or probiotics, I'm not sure, but you basically mix it into a Gatorade or like a Pedialyte type thing.
Yeah.
And it kind of resets your biome in there. So for a time there, like in the 2018 summer program, pretty much the entire school was out with issues or trying to make it work at school, and like the line to the bath. Oh, I can't. I can't.
And I think like traveling is just so stressful on your system. And then you're eating different foods, and the stress and the anxiety that manifests physically. Like it's just like full evacuation starting over type thing.
You just kind of have to expect that.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't get the shits when you travel, like you're just not normal.
I'm proud of you and jealous of you.
Listen, even flying, everything's just like, here we go. Yeah. But I've gotten really good at carrying. I'm like a little pharmacy, so I don't worry about anything like that, which I love. I love that. I love that. Okay, so nothing crazy though. You weren't like hospitalized or have to do.
No, not there.
No issues. Yeah. I love that. I love that. So do you feel just like you gravitated towards Spanish just early on? What about the language? Because it's really set a huge trajectory for your life. What kind of pulled you in so tightly with Spanish and that love?
I don't know. I feel like I already knew I had kind of a base of Spanish just from having grown up on like Dora and that kind of stuff, but not enough to be like I don't know. I think that I was instantly, not to toot my own horn, good at it.
Yeah.
And when you
You
have
should
that,
toot your own horn. You're
instant,
very smart. Yeah.
when you have that instant gratification or something, you're like, oh, what
I'm
else
good
can
at
I?
this.
Yeah, what else can I do with it?
Because it's dopamine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if it was like math, eventually I could grasp a concept, and you know, if I had a study group in chemistry, I could pass the test. Like that's fine.
Yeah.
But it never came naturally to me. Whereas with language and with Spanish, I could start to like see patterns pretty early on, and like cognates between words, and like I could kind of anticipate what a sentence structure might look like and that kind of thing. I remember I was such a nerd in high school. I would like look ahead in the Spanish textbook to learn a new verb tense to put on my test.
Yes, you are a nerd. I love that. You're like hungry for it.
Yeah,
your brain
exactly,
wants it.
exactly.
Yes, I love that.
I mean, I would like try to use my Spanish at work at the time as much as I could, and every Spanish club event I was there. And I remember they had a native speaker come in, and I was like trying to ask them questions, and it's different to learn Spanish from an American that speaks Spanish versus like this was a Cuban person that came in. So I don't know if you know anything about the accents, but the Cuban accent is just like
yeah, I've heard the accents are so like they vary so much. Yeah.
And so to hear, I mean, outside of Mexican Spanish, that for the first time I was like, this is crazy that it's the same language, but it can sound so different depending on where you are. Yeah. So I think it was just like, yeah, like you said, I was just hungry for it. Like, I don't know, just nerd having nothing to do. And...
I love that though, because like it's so crazy how someone can just be pulled into something, be so good at it, and then it just totally encapsulates your whole life. Yes, I love that. Because look where it's taken you. It's taken you all over the world. You've met your husband through it. Like, that's just so amazing. I'm so proud of you. I think it's just so awesome. I love it. Absolutely. So now you work full-time AU. What do you do for fun now?
Oh my gosh, I've gotten into so many things just in the past couple of years, especially since I've bought a house. I have taken like dance classes through another former coworker of ours. I've taken tap and hip hop. I did adult ballet classes.
Fun.
I took up playing the bass, and then archery is my other big thing.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It really is.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that, because I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of like a dartboard, just like a precision sport.
Yep.
But the feeling of shooting something,
it
just awakens something, and I don't know, it's really fun.
My cousin, when we were growing up, so this is little, like 8 and under, so I was a little kid. They're ranchers in Utah, so very outdoorsy, huntsy, all that. Yeah. Archery. They're still part of archery clubs. I'd gone a couple times, and I loved it so much as a little kid, and I'm like, this is so fun. It's difficult. It's very hard.
And like the littlest movement that you make can totally throw it off target.
Yeah.
And I mean, the distance of the target, the type of bow you're using, if you're using the right kind of arrow for it, it's a very intricate sport. Yeah. People don't think of it as a sport, but it is. And
it absolutely is. Yeah.
I went to a competition, not competing, but just to watch this summer. And I met Brady Ellison, who is like the best archer in the world, basically.
Love that.
Almost peed my pants. I was like, Dad, can you get a picture of me and Brady? Like, looking at my purse for a pen to sign my hat with. I was like on cloud 9.
I love
that. So I met Brady Ellison and Casey Cuffold.
Okay.
Big archers. Big
nice.
Archers. Yeah.
Little Katniss over here. Katniss
Everdeen.
Yes. I love that. That's my only archery reference I have is Katniss.
And Lord of the Rings, which I haven't seen.
Oh, yeah. But... Wait, what?
I know. I don't
know how to process this information.
I'm sorry.
You've read it, though.
No. I really want to read The Hobbit, but the thing is I hate fantasy.
How can you hate... Okay, what do you like to read? You like to read, so what do you read?
Yeah, I like contemporary fiction and dystopian, which there can be some overlap between dystopian and fantasy, but just like, if there's elves and... I'm like, wrap it up.
Oh, see, I
can't do fairies, and no.
I am not a reader. I wish I was. I used to be. I do enjoy it. My brain is just, it's cooked. It's attention span is awful. Loved fantasy. So the Lord of the, like that kind of stuff is my jam.
Just can't. Like, Harry Potter is probably the most fantasy leaning that I could do.
Yeah. Did you like it?
Harry Potter?
Yes.
I got through like book 3.5, and I was like, I'll watch the movies at this point.
Gotcha.
I did like the movies.
Yes. When Potter was coming out, Rich and I would go to the midnight releases for the books. Like, I would stay up, or I would take the next day off and read the entire book in one day. Like, I was Harry Potter nerd. And I was an adult. Like, I don't remember what years they came out, but like...
That's the best part, because
Yes.
then you have adult money to
Correct.
like buy fangirl stuff with.
Yes. That's kind of a problem, though. Like, that's how you accumulate a lot of shit. And you're like, why do I have all this?
Hey, whatever.
Okay, so you like archery a lot right now.
Yeah.
What else do you do in your spare time for Sam time?
I read a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't as much this month. I'm kind of in a slump right now, but usually I read like 100 to 120 books a year.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big reader.
Yeah.
And then I've got into sourdough.
Okay.
I think last year, and then into this year I have a loaf waiting at home to go in the oven, actually.
Nice.
I think that's about it. And then I also try to do like language learning on my own. So I take ASL classes at the library.
Layla and I, we went through this spiff where we wanted to learn. I would like to learn ASL.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, it's so cool.
I bet.
My teacher is really great too. And then I try to do Portuguese by myself because it's like a sister language to Spanish.
Okay.
It's a lot of overlap, very similar.
Okay.
But again, it's just like with Layla, she doesn't have someone maybe speaking it out loud to her and saying, oh no, this word should come before this, and these are the articles and that kind of stuff. So while it's very similar, at the same time I'm like, I feel like I'm just speaking Spanish but with a weird accent and not really understanding the differences phonetically. Yeah. Which is the linguistic nerd in me just wants to have everything perfect the first time without
without learning it or messing it up. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So your husband obviously lives in the United States. You guys, no? Okay, that's right. That's right.
He's still in Costa Rica, so we filed for basically his green card. Yeah. And we're in the waiting process, but he can still come here. Yeah. And I can still go there, so we plan all of our vacation time like that. Yep. So I'll be there for a week in November, and then I'll be there for 2 weeks in December, and then we're planning out next year because the World Cup is like Costa Rica is a big soccer. Like, Latin America's huge on soccer. Yes, they are. And the World Cup is going to be partly in the U.S. next year, so he really wants to come and see a game for that.
That'd be cool. So you guys really do just like, you probably can look at the next couple years and be like, okay, we're going here. We're going. I love that. See, the type A in me loves that. I love that.
I love planning. I like to have control over everything. Yes. I'm surprised I'm not looking at my phone right now because I wrote out my answers to every single one of your questions before I came
I'm glad you didn't because it lets you just feel it. I've got them all, but I'm like, we are so off track. I don't know what's going on.
My word and answer number 3 was a little bit different than what I planned.
That's the beauty of this. Like, you come in with a plan and then you just let it roll because it's fun that way. Okay, cool. So you've got a lot of plans coming up. Yeah. That's awesome. I love that. So just some random little trivias. What's like your go-to snack? What do you like to just munch on?
I really like honey sesame sticks, or like the little salted ones that I think you'd have to see it. You'd know if you saw it. Yeah. But I like hot honey and like honey anything.
Okay, me too.
What else? I like rice cakes, like popcorners type chips, or just like rice cakes. I really like that. I like a little crunch.
Yes. Are you a sweet or salty person?
Usually salty, but the best of both worlds is the pretzel M&Ms. Those are my favorite.
Those
M&Ms.
are good.
They're so good.
Yeah, that sweet and salty is really good. I really like a salted dark chocolate caramel. Salted caramel anything to me, I love that.
I'm getting more into dark chocolate though. I didn't used to like it, but I'm maturing.
Rich is the same way. You're realizing your
Tell him to grow up.
I know, God. Yeah, he is older than me. We'll just have to remind him of that all the time. Okay, so looking back, what would be some advice you would, knowing all you know now, all these life experiences, all the things you've gone through, which is insane, what would you tell your younger self, like your real younger self?
To myself, I would just stress that there is no timeline. Like, everybody wants you, especially if you come like from a background in the high school where I went to, it was just like college is the expectation, and then maybe you get a master's degree, but you get married in your early 20s, and then you settle down, you have 2 kids and a dog, and then whatever. Yeah. But it's like, that's not real. Yeah. That's not real. Yeah. So I guess just tell myself that there is no timeline. My cousin told me, I haven't forgot it. Don't ever feel like you have to know what you're doing. Yeah. Because everybody is living for the first time. Yes. And nobody knows what's going on.
No, we're all clueless. Yes.
And yeah, getting older is just realizing that other people are also faking it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's something I've been working on for myself, like with Layla. And there have been times I have said, I'm learning this right along with you, Layla. Yeah. Like, I've never been a mom to a 16-year-old at this stage in her life. Like every single day is new.
It's just, it's on the fly. We're all every day.
And when you can kind of embrace that, you take a little bit of pressure off yourself. There's less stress, less anxiety. You have a little bit more grace for people and yourself. So you're not, I mean, I'm generally wound pretty tight all the time. So it really helps me just kind of like, let's big picture this.
Also, in a good way, I think people are self-serving and don't, I mean, when I say they don't care about you, it sounds bad, but it should be freeing to know that people aren't keeping tabs on your every move, and they don't actually.
Nobody gives a shit.
That's Sam over there. She's doing her thing. No one's like, oh, I wonder why Sam's not doing this at this point in her life. It's just nobody cares. And so.
Yeah, it's a little like meme that's like, nobody cares or nobody cares.
Exactly.
Like, I don't want anyone to give a shit. Like, don't keep tabs. You're just going to find out I live in my sweatpants and I'm boring. And it's like.
And I just do my little like sourdough and archery. Yes. And that's the other thing is like, if you're thinking about doing something, just do it. And it's like, for example, with my adult ballet that I took last year, I was like, you know, little girls grow up as ballerinas and like they're super flexible, skinny little things and just do. That's like, I'm going to get old anyway, so I might as well just do ballet because I want to do ballet.
I love that. Whatever. That fear to not give a shit is so great. Yeah. And you get to do so many things too. That's definitely great advice. Absolutely, for sure. Absolutely. So what is maybe just one thing that you would like to just share with the world that you'd like to take away from them to take away from you from this podcast?
I guess just that. Don't stop learning. Don't be afraid to try a new thing. If you're thinking, well, by the time I master Spanish or Portuguese, I'm going to be 50. It's like, you're going to be 50 anyway.
That's so true.
Just do it.
That's so
just
true.
Do it.
Yeah. I love that.
You only have to answer to yourself, so.
Yeah. Yes. So true. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
This has been an absolute blast. I loved learning all the things I learned and finding out all the similarities that I didn't know already. So that was great.
Great minds think alike.
Yes, very true. And I think that's why we connected so quickly the way we did personality-wise, which for being kind of very similar, usually that doesn't work. But sometimes it does. Yeah. Those personalities kind of mash well. So again, thank you so much. This has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for listening. We've enjoyed this session today. We hope you have too as well. As always, if you want to come on the Loud Reset podcast and just shoot the shit, have fun, talk about life, go to my website, theloudsoundbath.com. There's a tab for podcasts. Put in a little form. Text me, call me, whatever. I would love to have you on here. So again, thank you so much for coming. It's been an absolute blast, and we will see you next time. Bye.